Did you know this when it comes to ICP? Now, nothing I say is financial advice. However, Dominic Williams, who's literally the founder of Dfinity, in what I would presume to be a podcast not too long ago, he did kind of allude to how ICP was having this very heavy emphasis towards the cloud market. Now, people may be thinking, like, who cares? ICP, it's around 42 times lower than $100, which I'll talk about very soon, but I'll talk about this real quick. We have to consider the cloud market as of right now approximately is valued at around $1 trillion. That's literally bigger than a lot of countries' GDP. So the thing is this, we have to consider the things that Dfinity is trying to do. Now, is ICP going to become the biggest player within that cloud market space? I mean, we'll wait and see. But it's not, I think, maybe too far-fetched to assume that it maybe could compete, right? Because why not? When I take a look at the internet computer, I feel like the fundamentals are there. I feel like when it comes to the team, they're dedicated enough. Like personally for me, who knows if they're ever going to become number one within that space, but I'm just saying, if they could at least compete, I think that'd be pretty compelling. And also, let's just take this into consideration. The team, right? Having the dedication to still do what they do, despite ICP being almost at $2 again. That takes a lot of mental fortitude, in my opinion. Like the team is still thinking about growing while the charts are indicating that it's not, in terms of the charts. However, I think sometimes the charts don't really tell the full story anyways, so I like the mindset when it comes to Dfinity. Other projects out there, I feel like the team has been a little bit demoralized, right, because of this space. Because I feel like a lot of them just kind of gave up. Which I can't blame anyone for that because, of course, when it comes to the space as of right now, if it's not doing good, I understand that if a team just doesn't want to believe in the future of the project anymore, it's solely their choice. Like, I can't control anyone. This is just, again, my opinion. However, when I take a look at a lot of other teams out there, they just have given up, which I can't blame them. But I haven't seen that when it comes to Dfinity. So if I haven't seen them give up, why would I give up? This is just sometimes my mindset. Now, I could give up though. I don't have to believe in this, but I'm voluntarily choosing not to because I still like the fundamentals when it comes to the internet computer. However, a major kind of concern is that ICP is around 42 times lower than $100. People like to tell me that. But if I'm aiming to dollar cost average, that right there no longer becomes a concern and that actually becomes a happy thing. Which may seem counterintuitive, totally aware of that, but I'm looking to acquire. So the lower something is, the happier I'd be acquiring. This is my mindset. Even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, it has nothing to do with anyone, right? This is just my mindset. But I'm just saying, I'm looking to dollar cost average. It just wouldn't make sense to me if I'm only dollar cost averaging when things are sky high, but ignoring it when things are low, because the whole point for me is the dollar cost average, preferably, right? The keyword is preferably if, let's say, things are low when it comes to the charts. So if my preferred scenario is happening anyways, I'm not going to complain. It just makes no sense. It's like me looking to swim and then I'm mad that I'm having to swim. It's like, how does that make sense personally for me? Like, again, if I'm looking to swim, I'm going to be swimming. That's my mindset. So if I'm looking to dollar cost average and things are low, isn't that kind of the point hypothetically for me? However, I can't control that, of course. There's no way I could demand things to do this or do that. However, if it's coincidentally happening anyways, and that's what I wanted to do temporarily to begin with, again, dollar cost averaging at a lower point, I'm not going to be mad or upset if there's something that I actually liked happen, right? This is just my mindset. However, at $100 anyways, the market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, would be around $55 billion. Still approximately 2 times less than what BNB reached years ago at one point in terms of market cap back in 2021, in which case it actually exceeded over $100 billion at that point. So the thing is this really such a crazy or outlandish market cap? To me, maybe I don't think about it that way because if I take a look at the BNB chain, is it more popular than the internet computer? Yes. Does it have more fans? Absolutely. Is the adoption better? I would say arguably yes. However, is it more revolutionary though? Sometimes I don't really have that mindset because I take a look at what Dfinity is trying to do when it comes to the internet computer, right? Trying to have this emphasis when it comes to things being on chain. I take a look at the aspect of decentralized AI when it comes to the internet computer. I just have a hard time seeing as to how I could arguably say that the BNB chain is more evolutionary than this. I just have a hard time saying that because I don't think about it that way. But this is my mindset currently. I'm dollar cost averaging once a month, that's it. But I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But I feel like what I saw Dominic Williams say recently, it kind of opened up my mind a little bit as to kind of showcasing, I guess, the direction in which the internet computer may be heading moving forward, and also Dfinity to a certain extent in terms of its priorities. So I do like seeing that, but ultimately all I can do is wait. But you know what? If I have to wait, I'm going to wait. That's it.